Step by step and side by side, how to record a song using GarageBand and Pro Tools. In this lesson, you will learn how to add different effects to your vocals, such as EQ and reverb. I want to have a different effect for each section of this song. This means placing the verse, pre-chorus and chorus on different tracks. First, let's split the main vocal track into different sections. This was covered in an earlier lesson, but just to recap, place the cursor at the start of the pre-chorus and press Command+T to split the track. Do the same at the start of the chorus and so on until you have split up each verse, pre-chorus and chorus. Now let's create these new tracks. Go to Track, New Track, record using a microphone or line input, check that the setting is set to input 1, and create. Repeat this process to create another track. Move the tracks underneath the main vocal track so that all vocal parts are together. Label the first one Verse Vocals Main. Label the second one Pre-chorus Vocals Main. And label the third one Chorus Vocals Main. Then move the different parts of the song to the corresponding track. Be careful not to move them left or right, or you will alter the time at which they play back. Let us deal with the verse vocals first. Solo the track. Then use the loop tool to play the first verse repeatedly. I'm going to experiment with the equalizer or EQ first. To locate the EQ settings, click on the Smart Controls button, then choose EQ. Equalizing boosts or cuts certain frequencies. GarageBand color codes the EQ. Orange and yellow are the low or bass frequencies. The two green colors are the mid frequencies. Blue and purple represent the high frequencies. Watch and listen as I manipulate the various different frequencies.
I am bound in this web. Can't function, can't fend for myself, paralyzed by fear. I lie here silently.
Since this female voice is mostly mid to high frequencies, boosting the bass will do nothing. Boosting the mid will create more warmth, and boosting the treble will give clearer diction and in particular will enhance the sibilants or s sounds. How you manipulate the EQ will depend on personal taste, the voice you are working with, the style of music you're creating, and the other instruments that are in the song or piece.
Is there anybody needs?
Watch now as I alter the EQ to suit my own personal taste. I'm looking for a brighter sound, so I've increased the high frequencies, and I'm looking for a little bit more warmth, so I've increased some of the mid and upper mid frequencies. When you are happy, be sure to listen to the vocal in context with the other parts, just to make sure that it blends appropriately.
It's a world without end.
GarageBand offers the ability to choose preset effects. Open up the library by clicking on the Library button. Choose Voice, then look at the list of preset effects. Press play to hear the vocal, then select one that you like the look of.
There is no escape.
The effect is applied and the voice will sound different.
There is no escape. There is no escape. There is no escape.
Notice that the EQ has also been altered, as this is how the effect is created in the first place. You can then further manipulate EQ if you wish to. Click on the Controls button next to the EQ button to experiment with echo, ambience, reverb, compression, and many others. The effect that you choose will determine the type of controls available. Once you have applied the effect, you can then manipulate these controls.
There is no escape. It's a world without end. I am bound in this web.
In the Legacy section, there are also quite a few good vocal effects. To access these, go to Legacy, GarageBand, Vocals. There is also the option here to have no effect at all, which is sometimes useful.
There is no escape. There is no escape.
I am going to choose Bright Vocal with more reverb and ambience. I am also going to add more compression to stop the track from peaking at the end of the verse. Listen carefully as the ambience, reverb and compression are altered.
Will someone rescue me? Is there anybody near to defend? Rescue me. Is there anybody near to defend?
Click on the Save button at the bottom of the screen and name your effect. It now appears in the User Patches section of the library. Now let's move on to the pre-chorus. First, I need to select the pre-chorus track, loop around the section, and solo the track. Here's the pre-chorus with no effects.
Open up your eyes and see the light. It shines above you like the stars.
After experimenting, I saved my version in the User Patches and called it Dance Vocal for Pre-Chorus. As you can hear, it's quite different. It has lots more ambience and reverb and a touch more mid-EQ and more chorus effect than the original Dance Vocal preset. As I listen in context, I notice that there is a hissing sound in the pre-chorus when I am not singing. I should now edit that blank space out to get rid of this sound. Just to make sure that these changes work, I'm going to listen to the verse followed by the pre-chorus to make sure it all flows okay. Now that I'm happy with that, I can move on to find an effect for the chorus vocal. As the chorus is the most memorable part of the song, I am looking for something a little more standard. I'm going to choose Classic Vocal and then change a few of the other control settings. I'm going to increase the compression to stop the track from peaking. I'm going to add a little bit more mid-EQ. I'm going to add a little bit more high EQ. I'm going to turn the echo off. And these two sends here, the plate and the spring, I'm going to increase the plate and decrease the spring.
Breathe it in, breathe it out.
As before, I'm going to save this so that it appears in my user patches.
If I fall, will you hold me?
Now it's time to move on to the backing vocals. For the backing vocals, I'm going to use the vocal reflection effect. This time, I'm not going to change any of the controls.
Breathe in, breathe.
I've chosen the effect for backing vocal 1, now I need to do the same for backing vocal 2. Be sure to listen to all these effects in context with one another.
Breathe it in, breathe it out. Let it in,
Now let's look at how we can complete this process in Pro Tools. First, as before, we need to split the main vocal into the 3 different parts: verse, pre-chorus and chorus. We do this by using the Command E function. Then we need to create 2 more tracks by going to the Track menu, click on New, change the Create number to 2, and create. Next, you should rename them by double-clicking in the track name and typing the new name. Then move each of the parts of the song to the correct track. Verse to verse, pre-chorus to pre-chorus, chorus to chorus, and so on. Now let's apply some effects for the verse vocals. First, highlight the track. Then solo the track, and then loop around the track so you can hear it repeatedly. Press Command and equals to access the mix window. In Pro Tools, effects are known as inserts. Click on Insert, go to Plugin, and choose EQ. Choose 7-band EQ. Here you can manipulate the EQ in exactly the same way as you could in GarageBand. The same colours apply as well. This time you can use the bypass button to hear what it sounded like before. Once you are happy, now add a new effect. Go to Plugin, add Reverb, and add Deverb. Alter the amount that you want, and make any other settings that you wish to. Press the bypass button to hear what it sounded like before you added the effect. If you wish to remove the insert, click on the dot and choose No Insert. Let's now choose some effects for the pre-chorus. Highlight the pre-chorus, loop around the pre-chorus section that you want to listen to, solo the track, then use Command and equals to access the mix window. Choose EQ to alter the EQ, make the changes that you wish to make.
Open up your eyes and see the light, it shines above you like the stars.
Use the bypass button to compare what it was like before.
Fill your lungs with breath,
and then experiment with other effects that you can add that you might like.
The day your mommy gave you life.
Let's look at the different effects that I have chosen. Here I'm showing you the EQ for the verse. Next is the EQ for the pre-chorus, and the EQ then for the final chorus. The deverb for the verse, the air chorus for the pre-chorus, and more deverb for the chorus. As we have applied 3 quite different effects, we should listen to each of those effects and see that they work well with each other.
It's a world without end. I am bound in this web. Can't function, can't fend for myself, paralyzed by fear. I lie here silently. Will someone rescue me? Is there anybody near to open up your eyes and see the light? It shines above you like the stars. Fill your lungs with breath, just like the day that you were born, the day your mommy gave you life. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Let it in, let it out. If I fall, will you hold me? If I trust you, will you feel me?
Both GarageBand and Pro Tools give you the opportunity to add multiple different effects, but they have very different ways of achieving this. GarageBand has a library of effects, and these effects are preset. Certain aspects of them can be manipulated. Pro Tools calls its effects inserts, and you can add EQ and other inserts like delay and modulation. In order to add effects in Pro Tools, you must access these via the specialised Mix window. In GarageBand, everything is within the main window. Pro Tools has a bypass button, which allows you to hear what your music was like before you added the effect and what it is like after the effect. GarageBand has much more user-friendly labelling and images, whereas Pro Tools is heavily word-based and uses complicated dials and switches to add effects. Both Pro Tools and GarageBand have colour-coded EQ frequencies, with orange for bass, green for mid, and blue and purple for high frequencies. GarageBand offers you the option to save your altered effects. Pro Tools does not. That is the end of Lesson 8. In the next lesson, you will learn how to add effects to instrumental parts.